What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the New York Giants franchise rebuild with yours truly. Completely modded. We're playing on PC. Gameplay's changed. AI logic's changed. The game is a lot harder. And we lost last week in a heartbreak. I mean, bad, by 18 points to the undefeated. I'm sorry, not the undefeated. The winless Jacksonville Jaguars, led by Trevor Lawrence and James Robinson. They ran it down our throats. We have a chance to redeem ourselves today, going up against the Minnesota Vikings at home with Dalvin Cook. This is not a good matchup. Let's just be honest. We suck at run defense, and we have one of the premier running backs in the NFL to go up against. And I think we just continue to try to stop the run. I mean, I just don't know what it is. We drafted one of the best defensive linemen in Kayvon Thibodeau. He's not really shown out this year. He finally got, I think he got a sack against Chicago, but things just aren't looking too great for us. And we have a good secondary led by Harrison Smith. They don't blitz a lot. We don't have to worry about the blitz counter. I feel like we gave up 4 sacks to Josh Allen last week against Jacksonville, but a lot of those were because we were holding on to the ball, trying to find somebody open. Kadarius Toney's hurt. We had Darius Slayton hurt, but we get Darius Slayton back. Kenny Galladay has been nowhere to be found so far. Rushing has been great. I think we worry about trying to throw a medium, try to open up some of those 10 to 15 intermediate routes. That way, when we do throw it, we're picking up first downs, and then we can continue to run the ball. Let's go with that. That's my game plan. Try to throw it underneath. We're not going to try to challenge Harrison Smith. New York going up against Minnesota, and you know what time it is. Let's get ready to rumble. Check us out at US Bank Stadium in Minnesota. The 2-2 New York Giants, led by Frank Donk, going up against Mike Zimmer-led Minnesota Vikings, who's no longer with the Vikings now. Vikings looking to try to go to 4-1. The Giants looking to try to get over 500 and prove that they are a contender in the NFC. Minnesota Giants coming up. Vikings win the coin toss. They elect to defer. Giants, Minnesota starts now. The ball is taken all the way to the 31-yard line. Nice return. Giants will get the ball in good field position as we see Daniel Jones, who had a rough game last week in Jacksonville. 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, is able to score on the ground, but not able to do much in the passing attack. Saquon is still not back for New York. As you see, Devontae Booker lined up in the backfield, and they're going to start with a run and not able to pick up much on the play. That ball's thrown over the middle, but incomplete to Devontae Booker, but we do have a penalty on the field. Roughing the passer. Danielle Hunter coming off the right. It looked like he hit Daniel Jones a little low coming in. You know, at the beginning of the game, those defensive players are amped. And Danielle Hunter comes in a little too hot and gives New York good field position. Brings up a 3rd down and 5. This ball is thrown to Devontae Booker, who's able to pick up 8 yards on the play. Another 1st down. A lot of question marks surrounding Daniel Jones. Frank Donk proved or said in many press conferences at the beginning of the season that he was going to do everything that he could to surround Daniel Jones with great weapons, great protection, and see if he could be successful in the NFL. As that ball is handed off to Devontae Booker, Kyle Rudolph is now hurt, an ex-Minnesota Viking, making his return to Minnesota. But Frank Donk believes in Daniel Jones, at least for this season, at least for right now. And Daniel Jones has to feel somewhat confident knowing that he has a coach who's willing to surround him with some pass protection. As we see Brightwell, who's been a nice surprise for New York, and they look to run it to him. Again, nice run, though. Actually, the best run of the day. 14 yards on the play, and Brightwell has looked, might I say, a little better than Devontae Booker these last 3 games. Frank Dog talked about that, saying that it doesn't matter what you've done previously. It's what you do for us now. And if Brightwell continues to show out whenever he gets touches, you got to think that Frank Dog is going to give him more opportunities. This brings up a 3rd down and 5 ball on the 5-yard line. New York looking to try to pick up a 1st down and a touchdown as Daniel Jones goes out to the right and gets stopped by the Neil Hunter. 4th down and goal, and what will Frank Dog do? It looks like they're going to be aggressive today. Ball's given to Devontae Booker and the New York Giants. And Devin Booker are able to score on the first drive of the game, taking up about 7 minutes off the clock. Barring the extra point, these have been shaky. The Giants are up 7-0. And here we have Kirk Cousins, who has looked pretty daggone sharp to start the 2022 campaign. Over 1,000 yards throwing in the air, 9 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Kirk Cousins had a great 2021 campaign and looks again to take that and run with it here in this 2022 campaign as Minnesota is 3-1 on the season. Kirk Cousins, one of those quarterbacks that's always been questioned, but has done nothing but prove that he can be a franchise quarterback. He's done nothing but bet on himself in Washington. Done nothing but prove that he can get the ball to the likes of Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook. This Minnesota offense is one not to be messed with, as Dalvin Cook there last week rushes for 91 yards, doesn't pick up any touchdowns. He actually has not picked up a touchdown on the season yet, and you got to think against the Giants today that he'll probably do that. If not once, probably thrice. As Drake Jackson slips into the backfield and stops Dalvin Cook from picking up any yards, a loss of 2. Drake Jackson, with some flashes in the pan for New York, has actually looked a little better than that number 3 overall pick, Kayvon Thibodeau. 3rd down and 7. Kirk Cousins brings Adam Thielen in motion. That ball's thrown over the middle to, I believe, Justin Jefferson, and that will be a 4th down. James Bradbury able to stop Justin Jefferson. Now, I'm very surprised that Zimmer is not going to be going for it here on 4th and inches. And this ball is punted beautifully. Big stop here by Minnesota if they can get it. This ball is thrown over the middle. It's batted in the air, but it falls short as Minnesota has an injured player, and this will be a punt by New York, giving this ball right back. Nice return on the punt. 19 yards, 2 diving missed tackles, 1 first down away from where they had it on the previous drive. Little sweep in motion, Dalvin Cook, and Dexter Lawrence blows up the play for a loss of 6. Dexter Lawrence has had a strong start to his season. He's got a few sacks, a ton of tackles for a loss so far in this season. Nice play action. Thrown over the middle. Dalvin Cook wide open. No one there to tackle him, and he carries the ball all the way to the 32. Kirk Cousins with his 3rd completion on the day for 60 yards. We haven't seen much blitzing from New York today, but you can tell right here that they're going to bring a little bit of pressure here on. Oh, what? Kayvon Thibodeau and Blake Martinez run right by Kirk Cousins on the play. We see the instant replay there. Look, he was surrounded. Kirk Cousins showing that he's still a little nimble, throws it off to Dalvin Cook and able to pick up a few yards on the play. Oh, nice juke by Dalvin Cook. Brings up 2nd and 2, ball on the 13. Few extra tight ends. Fullback in for Minnesota, you like to think that they're going to run it here, and they do. But it looks like they get stopped. Dalvin Cook, not been able to get too much going on the running game. 5 rushes, 5 yards, brings up 3rd down and 2. Another play action on 3rd down, and it looks like pressure was coming to the right. Kirk Cousins looks like he has to just get rid of it. And this is going to bring up the kicking unit by Minnesota. Ball snap, kick is up, and it is good. So after not much on 1st and 2nd down, bringing up a 3rd down and 5. Giants looking to try to extend the drive and a 1st down, and they do. Daniel Jones finds his go-to guy, O.J. Howard, his first catch of the day. And there's O.J. Howard again. Daniel Jones finding him again for almost another 10. As another hurt Viking defender on the play gets up, he gets a little limp, walks it off, shake it off, maybe rub some dirt on it. 2nd and inches. Ball's handed off to Devontae Booker, and he picks up the 1st down, ball to the 42, and Daniil Hunter again is hurt on the play. So we got a few defenders for Minnesota down, and New York's got to look to take advantage of that here on this drive. As Devontae Booker picks up 6 on the play, bringing up a 2nd down and 4. Again, hurry up offense by New York. They're going to try to keep these defenders on the field since New York kind of has the advantage. Tire out the defenders. Don't let your best players from Minnesota get back on the field. Devin Booker, who's already ran it 16 times on the day, just picking up over 50 yards on that play. 2nd down and 6. Ball on the 27. That ball's thrown to Kenny Golladay. Haven't mentioned his name that much at all. We say that every week, but it's true. 1st down and 10. He picks up 6 yards on the play. Big contract played out to Kenny Golladay, and he really just hasn't proved to be worth it so far. Tight end in motion. Ball's handed to Devontae Booker, who moves it up on a gain of 7 to the 14. Daniel Jones takes off and runs with it and gets down. No, he tries to score, and he does. Daniel Jones proving that no, not Lamar Jackson. No, not Kyler Murray. No, not Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott. But he is the best rushing quarterback in the NFL with, I think, if I'm not mistaken, his 5th rushing touchdown on the season. All right, so we picked this up with 2 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. Giants stop the Minnesota Vikings on that next drive, and then after 3 big runs, 2 by Devontae Booker and 1 by Brightwell, we're here on the 40-yard line. And New York, nice pass to Kenny Golladay, who finally shows up, is looking to try to score and extend this lead before the end of the 1st half. You can expect New York not to use any timeouts and chew up as much of the clock as possible, because remember, Minnesota is getting the ball to start the 2nd half. New York with the draw up the middle, trying to fake out Minnesota, and that doesn't work out too well. That brings up a 3rd down and 7. About 50 seconds left on the clock. We're going to go ahead and hike this thing. Wide open over the middle is Devontae Booker, who takes that all the way to the 2-yard line. And I'm very surprised Minnesota has not used a timeout yet. And Brightwell with his first touchdown of the day, and you hear the Boo Birds are out in Minnesota. This is not what they expected for New York to come in here and just slap Minnesota in the face for the first 2 quarters of the game. 21-3, New York on top. All right, so we start the 3rd quarter with the Giants up by 18. Yes, the Giants are up by 3 scores against the Minnesota Vikings, and there we go. Finally, Dalvin Cook with a nice rush on the day, and that has really been the story of the 1st half for Minnesota. They have not been able to get the ground game going with Dalvin Cook. That's forced the hand of the Minnesota Vikings in this offense. As Dalvin Cook pushes forward, Adam Thielen's hurt on the play. That's not what you want to see if you're a Viking fan, down by 18. But it's forced Minnesota in these predictable second and third downs, knowing that they are going to pass, and New York's been able to kind of pin their ears and rush and stop Minnesota just like that. Ball's thrown over to Galladay, who picks up another first down, his third reception of the day. Daniel Jones, 8 of 12, 88 yards, and the majority of those has went to Kenny Galladay, who has 36 yards on the day. New York, ball at the 45, total yards 197 for New York. I think it said 99 for Minnesota. New York again looking to try to extend this lead. And there's OJ Howard over the middle. Harris on coverage, but not able to stop him from picking up. I'm sorry, Harrison Smith on coverage, not able to stop him from picking up the first down. That brings up a new set of downs for New York. Daniel Jones in this offense is clicking on all cylinders right now, as he has to roll out right, can't find nobody, and throws it away. That ball's thrown over the middle. OJ Howard, his fourth catch of the day. I think his third catch for a first down. And these Minnesota fans are just beside themselves. You hear them booing at every positive yard by New York, and you can't blame them. They're 3-1. The Giants just lost to the winless Jacksonville Jaguars. The fans coming in thinking that this is an easy win, and next thing you know, we're here almost the end of the third quarter, down by 18. That ball's dumped down to Devontae Booker for pickup of a few. Third down and 3. Daniel Jones nowhere to go. Breaks free from the pocket, runs up the middle. Daniel Jones with his third rush for 29 yards. Brings up a first down. And look who it is, Kenny Galladay. It took almost 14 months, but Kenny Galladay has finally caught his first touchdown as a New York Giant. Third down and 5. Minnesota has been in this predicament pretty much all day, but over the middle, Kirk Cousins finds the backup, Madison, for a 14-yard pickup, and you hear life being brought back into the stadium for the first time today, as Minnesota might have something rolling. Ball is thrown out to the left to Dalvin Cook, and this Giants defense is swarming. A loss of 3 on the day. Frank Don with a smile, hands in the air, and yes, the defense by New York. Check this out. Kayvon Thibodeau, can eat, and that is caught over the rookie Drake Jackson. Justin Jefferson, that's a huge mismatch. And Justin Jefferson's probably going to win that one 10 times out of 10. First down, Minnesota, ball to 30 as the third quarter is winding down here. That ball is thrown. They're going to say it was complete for a loss of 2. Mike Zimmer, he might want to challenge that because that didn't look like it was completed, but they're going to go back up to the line and probably run this time off before the third quarter. No, they're going to throw it. Play action to the tight end. Pickup of about 7, and that will end the third quarter. Minnesota down by 25 points. Dalvin Cook. No, I'm sorry. That's Osborne, who had a game-winning catch last year and showed out against the Carolina Panthers. Has a nice snag there over the defender for a first down. Ball on the 20. 11 minutes left in this game. Minnesota's got to get something going, and Dalvin Cook jukes and spins and pushes through. Adoree Jackson's hurt on the play and picks up 7 yards on the ground by Dalvin Cook. Ball now on 13. Play action. That's worked a few times, but not today as Drake Jackson, rookie, comes in and smacks Kirk Cousins on the play. He loses the ball, but Luckily, the fullback Ham is able to come in. Dory Jackson with broken ribs on the play. That's not what you want to hear. But a huge stop brings up 3rd down and 8. And Dalvin Cook gets the ball and runs with it. Very questionable call. As yes, Minnesota's going to go for it. Maybe the thought was they were going for it. They knew they were going for it, so they're just going to try to pick up a few yards on the play. This brings up a weird 3rd or 4th down and 10. And Kirk Cousins. Pass is incomplete, and the ball is given back to New York. All right, guys, here we go. We're 3rd down and 9. I mean, we've ran almost 6 minutes off the clock. We're going to put Darius Slayton here in motion. 3rd down and 9. If we can pick up this 1st down and then pick up a few more 1st downs, that'd probably be the end of the game. It's 4th down and 4. I think we're going to go for it. I do. I'm that confident. We want to go ahead and end this game now. Why kick a field goal? 4th down and 4, even if we don't get it. I mean, chances are they're not going to score. Daniel Jones dumps that off to Devontae Booker. Linebacker in the flat. Howie Kendricks, and it's just not enough. Devontae Booker, he has had a day. Oh, we fumble it on the... Wow. Nice fumble on the play. Minnesota wants the ball back on the 1. I don't think they'll have enough time to mount a comeback. Do you think so? I don't think so. That ball's thrown and almost went back into the end zone there. All right, so we ended up stopping Minnesota. They actually punted the ball, believe it or not. They just wanted the game to be over, and New York comes into Minnesota, takes down Dalvin Cook, Kirk Cousins, Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, and beats them 28-3 after getting smacked by the Jacksonville Jaguars, the winless Jacksonville Jaguars, that is. Frank Donk shows what type of team New York is. The resiliency, and they come out and dominate in every fashion. 28-3. The New York Giants are now 3-2 and have the Dallas Cowboys coming up next week. All right, guys, so we're 3-2. We got a now tiebreaker over Minnesota if our records ended up being the same. That's a huge win. That's a huge win. We have the Dallas Cowboys next week. Let's see what the rest of the conference does. We're going to sim next week, but first, let's check this out. We get Julian Love back next week. Equanu's out for 4 weeks. Adoree Jackson's out for 4 weeks. Man, our team is getting beat up, and it's not just like role players or just midline starters. It's stars, guys that we need to develop. Oh man, this is getting really tough. The injuries and the change on that with this mod is huge. And the Dallas Cowboys are 1-4. So this is a must-win game. Washington and the Eagles win, so we're still tied atop the NFC East, 3-2, 3-way tie. This isn't going to be easy, guys. But you have to wait to the next episode as we take on Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and the Dallas Cowboys at home, another away game. It's going to be tough, but I think Frank Donk and this injury-prone New York Giants team can maybe take one in AT&T Stadium. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.